Hey there, veterans, and welcome to our brand new Claim Clarity series here on the VETCOM US YouTube channel. I'm Rachel Hernandez. I'm the manager of communications here, and each week I'm going to be introducing you to a member of our team to deep dive into a new topic about VA disability claims. While you're here, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Today, I'm joined with Haley Cook, our claims director. We're going to be talking about buddy letters. What are they? Who needs them? What veterans get wrong? And more. Let's go. Miss Haley Cook, our claims director here at VetCom. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful, Rachel. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. This is the very first episode that we're doing of the Claim Clarity series here on our YouTube channel, where we're going to try to give our clients and our subscribers on YouTube more information about VA disability claims because that's what they want to hear. Um, why don't you explain a little bit about you and what you do here at VetCom?
Sure. My name is Haley. I'm the director of claims here at VetCom. I've been with the company for about a year and a half now. I oversee our entire back-end operation, all the way from customer service to our claims associates and pre-claims teams, ensuring they're giving the level of customer service that we expect as a standard for all of our veterans, making sure claims are getting helped, people are being answered, and giving what we can back to our veterans.
Awesome. So are you a veteran yourself, or do you have family veterans?
I am not a veteran, but I do have lots of veterans in my family. So my great grandfather was actually a B-52 navigator during the war. My cousin Ian was a medic in the Army. He actually got out of Camp Pendleton and now is in Tennessee. And then I have lots and lots of friends being from Southern California that are military. So I've been very surrounded by military my whole life.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense. So what we're talking about today are buddy letters, and I can't think of anyone better to talk about that with than you. I'm sure you know all about that. So,
Buddy letters are absolutely wonderful tools during a claim filing, especially when you're going after denials. So, what a great topic to talk about.
okay, good. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so let's just start from the very beginning because I'm assuming the people who are watching this are maybe not even customers with us, and they're just starting to hear that maybe they could be owed some compensation money. So they're probably just getting into this topic and don't have a clue what that is. So why don't we start from the basics? What is a buddy letter?
So, buddy letter is a statement made by somebody you know that was close to you. So, a family member, a really good friend, somebody that you may have been in the military with that knows your story. So, it's their recounting of being that ear and that shoulder to lean on during you while you were having this event and what you were going through that can kind of back you up as a backstop to say, hey, what they're saying is true.
Yeah, that would make sense. And when do you need them? Like, does every claim need a buddy letter?
Not every claim needs a buddy letter. So when we typically see buddy letters being their most fruitful to veterans during the claim process is when they're going through denials. While a buddy letter is very good during an initial claim filing, so using new conditions. Obviously, anytime you can have evidence that says what I'm saying to you is true, they really hit home to the VA when during a denial, when they're looking at your service connectability the very first time and going, yeah, none of that really happened. Somebody kind of comes up to you as your knight in shining armor saying, wait, hold on. Here's more evidence. And having someone write a buddy letter that solidifies the story that you're telling them and recounting of what you've went through is a really good piece of evidence.
I see. Okay. So this is kind of a weird, how do I phrase this? It's like, how exactly then, if it's just someone's personal statement, what like factors does the VA have to verify any of that information? Are they just taking it at face value and believing what this person is saying about your story?
So a lot of times what the VA is looking for is pieces of information that the initial veteran has given them that almost is a secondary acceptance of something. So dates, whether it's a specific individual date or it's a roundabout, it was in the fall, it was in this month. If places, if we knew that they were in Japan and something had happened, they can recount that something happening in Japan. And then obviously feelings, emotions of things that happened to them in the moment that they remember them going through. So if a trigger event happens, such as something like PTSD events, and they can go, I remember the day they came home in the middle of May. this is the specific incident, this is all the details they described to me, and then this is what happened to them afterwards. This is what I watched them go to. This is how I watched them deteriorate. This is how I watched their whole being change. This is how I watched them give up their job. So all those little pieces of information as an outsider that can go, this is as much information as I collected from them and was there for them through, and this is what I'm going to give on to you. So when those puzzle pieces start matching up from what the veteran story is when the VA can go, oh, they did bring up this date. They did bring up this name in person, and that kind of solidifies or verifies what the buddy letter contents would have.
Okay, I see. So then what would make for like an ineffective buddy letter? One that's not gonna kind of say to the VA what they want it to say.
Wow, very vague buddy letters that are just not giving specific details. So somebody like, yeah, I remember Bob told me he went through some stuff. He didn't give me much evidence, and he kind of brushed it off, and so there wasn't much to it. I know he went through something, but I don't really know about it. So when there's not enough what we call meat to what the statement is supposed to be giving, or polar opposite, they're giving inaccurate information, or maybe the story that the buddy is trying to remember doesn't line up with what the veteran is telling us, when it can kind of be off. So our team, when we review buddy letters, we make sure the strategy and the conversation we've had with the veteran the first time is tying into what the buddy letter is saying. We want to make sure that the extra evidence that we're helping the veteran submit to the VA, it makes sense to what their story is.
Yeah. So so a buddy letter can be positive toward your claim. It can also be neutral if it's not very effective, but can it also be negative? Like can it hurt your claim if you have a bad one?
So if you're going into a claim and you have a buddy letter that completely destroys what you're telling them is going on, yes, the VA could go, hey, we have someone telling us that your PTSD wasn't from this, it was from something else. Hey, at the time of, you know, getting out, you also went through a bad divorce. The VA could end up taking that information going, we might deny you because now we know that you have a divorce and we're going to tack on that your PTSD is actually from your divorce. So again, reading through those buddy letters is really important to what you're trying to tell the VA, what you're trying them to understand to the event that happened from your time in service. So being very thorough, and we give here at VetCom very good templates and examples for our veterans to understand. Here's a good way of wording it when you're working with your buddy that's going to help write a statement for you to make sure that everything is in line with what should be given to the VA so we don't have negative effects.
Hmm. Okay. So what is the process of getting a buddy letter? Is it on the veteran to go ask a buddy, can you write this for me? Or is there some kind of like formal process of getting it from a specific person?
So a lot of times, because this is such a sensitive topic, a lot of times, again, PTSD, we get a lot of MST, or again, anything that happened, a traumatic event, losing a leg or something happening. It's better, and what we recommend is when a veteran goes to the buddy that they'd like a statement from, that was there for them, that understands, and they go, hey, I'd like to talk to you about this. I really would really like from you if you could help write a statement that collaborates with what I'm trying to do with the VA with my claim. And a lot of times this is when we give them the templates and examples, and we have them sit together and they go through it and they go, hey, talk about these points, look at the examples together, and then let's talk about your story again. And then the buddy can kind of write out their recount of how they were there for you and what they saw from what you went through.
Hmm. So, of the claims that you have sat in with, or like the claim filings that you've worked with and sit in on, like what roughly, like what percentage of them would you say could use a buddy letter? Like, how often is this actually necessary?
Anytime we go into a meeting that has to do with denied, one of the first things we talk about is, do you have a personal statement or do you have buddy letters? Did you ever talk to somebody about this? Is there somebody that you can collaborate with in order to get a buddy statement? I feel like those are some of the first questions every time we go into talking about denials, some of the first documentation we talk about, other than new diagnoses and things like that. So to me, it's an integral part of it when we're talking about denials because it's something that's personal. So I would say more than 50% of the time, we're going to talk about and try to gain a buddy letter when we're going for denied conditions.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's kind of like a second round defense that you're
Hmm.
using.
Yes.
So is it ever a first line of defense?
Sometimes veterans are very proactive. They gain buddy letters prior to getting their conditions, even in the very first time. And they're like, I want to have as much of the gunpowder as I can going out the gate so that there's never a denial. Sometimes people wait to just see what the VA comes back with the very first time. They go, hey, base this off my service records. And they kind of keep that as an ace in their back pocket as a buddy letter or the option of a buddy letter just to see what they get back the first time. So say you file for conditions the first time and you get 30% and you're like, wait. It's more severe than that. And let me tell you why. And then they produce a buddy. So it's really just the tactic for the veteran and how they want to go with their claims.
Okay. So what is our role with the buddy letters? Like when customers are working with us and they're on these claim filing appointments with us, what is our role with the buddy letters? Are we telling them at this point we recommend that you do get one? Is that kind of like where we step in with that?
Exactly. So based on strategy appointments that we have with our team, and we look at the bigger picture of everything they have as far as conditions, what they've done in the past, what they want to do moving forward, is when we kind of tack in the I think you should talk to somebody about getting a buddy letter. Here's examples. Here's kind of a statement creation template for you to look at to give them an idea of what realm they should be going in as far as getting a buddy letter for their claim as evidence. And then our team, once they get that buddy letter, we review it with them. We want to look through and see what was written, make sure that the very specific way that the VA wants, the name and the contact information and the formatting to be submitted is correct. And again, based on the strategy and conversation we've had with the veteran, we want to make sure none of its contents are going to hurt the veteran's claim. So we're very thorough in assisting and being hands-on during every step of the process, including the buddy letters for the claim for the veteran.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. Okay, well, I mean, about buddy letters, is there anything else about buddy letters that you think veterans should know that I haven't like directly asked about?
My biggest thing with buddy letters and what I would tell veterans is never be afraid to ask for a buddy letter. Never be afraid to open up. I know it's hard. I know the mentality for the military a lot of times we don't talk about it. We shuffle it aside. It was an event and it happened. But a lot of times what people hold on to is those traumatic events. And that's something that only should be acknowledged, but it should be talked about. So having somebody to talk to about those events and that can back you up for that, and then asking them to solidify that for you and be like, hey, can you write this for me? I know you went through this with me and you were there for, and I appreciate that. And I had someone to talk to. Now, can you help me resolve this another step further with my claim and getting the disability I deserve because of what happened? So never being afraid to ask is a huge part of it. A lot of people are like, I went 30 years never talking about it. I never asked anybody for anything. And this is that moment in a good example of a buddy letter that it's time to do that.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Now, let me remind you again, because I did tell you at the beginning of the video, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new episode. If you're watching this, it's probably because you're filing a VA disability claim. So what better videos to subscribe to than informational videos about VA disability claims? I'm just messing, but not really. Go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.